2024 has been such a great year for indie titles releasing on the Nintendo Switch. Even with the Switch's lifespan supposedly coming to an end, developers have been pumping out so many incredible games that it's hard to keep track of. So with this year wrapping up, I put together a top 10 list featuring my favorite and most recommended indie titles for the Switch. So sit back, pop a bottle of champagne and pour it into your favorite Gamer Supps shaker bottle or whatever it is that you drink out of, and let's get right to it. Starting out, we have Animal Well, Big Mode's incredibly immersive Metroidvania experience inspired by the action platformers of old while adding a fresh take to the much-beloved genre. Focusing on solving ever-increasingly difficult puzzles instead of your run-of-the-mill hack-and-slash or pew-pew style combat. And while that may be a turnoff to some people, it really shouldn't be a deal-breaker, with the puzzles being cleverly crafted, offering a satisfying challenge without ever feeling overwhelming, leading to some incredible aha moments as you utilize the environment around you, or by creatively herding the animals at just the right time to step on an out-of-reach switch or platform. With some seriously jaw-dropping lighting and detailed animations, drenching this game in atmosphere. The gameplay is just so wonderfully relaxing, with so many hidden secrets and areas to explore. This title will definitely have you coming back over and over again for the foreseeable future. And while the game isn't action-focused, Animal Well does offer adjacent weapons, such as firecrackers that scare the enemies away from you or act as a distraction while you get past them. Taking 7 years to develop, Shared Memory and Big Mode completely knocked it out of the park with their debut title. For fans of atmospheric platformers or anyone looking for a fresh, well-executed title, Animal Well is a must-play on the Switch. It'll take you around 10 hours or so to beat, and you can pick it up from the eShop for $24.99. JRPGs are definitely my first love when it comes to gaming, and Bloomtown: A Different Story is the perfect representation of everything that I love about the genre as a whole. With this game being an excellent blend of storytelling, engaging gameplay, and cozy as hell visuals, with Twin Cells setting their game in a 1960s-inspired small town with a supernatural twist, the game combines cozy, slice-of-life moments with engaging and addictive RPG mechanics. Now, it obviously takes a lot of inspiration from the Persona series, such as the life sim of making friends, meeting up at preset times in an in-game clock, getting a job to make some extra cash for weapons that can be used in the other world in the form of replica guns or melee weapons. You can even see Earthbound and Mother 3 influences in the way that the town is laid out and the interesting and bizarre way that you interact with the townsfolk and their odd humor. The gameplay shines with its strategic turn-based combat system, allowing players to build and recruit a diverse party and exploit enemy weaknesses. You can even collect and subdue demons in order to summon them for extra attacks, buffs, and healing, again, very much akin to the Persona series. Bloomtown's art style is of course a huge standout, with vibrant colors and detailed environments, with beautiful pixel art and some incredible detail in regards to the environments and every little area that you explore. The soundtrack further enhances the experience, blending pop melodies with haunting tunes to match the game's cozy and eerie themes. For fans of RPGs with rich narratives and unique settings, Bloomtown: A Different Story is a must-play and will take you around 20 or so hours to beat. You can pick it up from the eShop for $24.99. The game also offers a demo for download, so if you're still unsure, give that a shot first. And for one of the most addictive games on the list, Balatro is a roguelike deck builder game that usually wouldn't be my cup of tea. However, after giving this game a try, I quickly understood how it has garnered so much hype and has taken over so many people's lives. If you are a newcomer to card games or a veteran player of the genre, you'll feel right at home here. Even myself, a person that has admittedly never played even one single game of poker in my life, which the game of Balatro is based around, of course reminded me a ton of turn-based JRPGs, making me feel right at home within the first 10 minutes or so. As you play through each hand, you'll have a minimum score that you must meet in the allotted limit. You'll have access to a shop to spend money that you've earned, buying tarot cards and different card packs in order to add buffs to your deck. However, the main perk you'll want to purchase are the multitude of Joker cards that are introduced, acting as multipliers that can increase your score exponentially. The main gameplay loop of getting a hand, choosing which cards to keep, discarding the ones that you don't want, and setting up your cards to play leads to such a dopamine hit with every round played. If you are into roguelikes, deck builders, RPGs, or just quick fun that you can dive into to kill some time, do yourself a favor and pick up Balatro on the eShop for $14.99. Berserk Boy is an action-packed, vibrant side-scroller, evoking the best of the Mega Man X and Gunvolt series. taking the role of Kai, and after meeting a firebird named Fiore and obtaining the Berserk Orb, joining the Resistance and taking on the evil Dr. Genos. These orbs will offer you a load of power-ups that you obtain from defeating each of the 5 bosses. These power-ups aren't just for combat, but also allow you the chance to reach hidden areas of the map, a la Metroidvania, and uncover its secrets and to obtain more cash that you can use back at the lab. The combat feels very solid, with tight, responsive controls, and making platforming and combat feel fluid and satisfying. Each level is perfectly crafted, filled with enemies that you engage with in fast-paced combat. That reminds me a bit of another similar game that I love, Gravity Circuit. The soundtrack is also top-notch, with the indelible T. Lopez bringing his exciting and bombastic musical styles, leading to an energetic score that keeps the adrenaline pumping. Berserk Boy will take you around 4 to 7 hours to beat, and you can pick it up from the eShop for $20. SFB Games' release of Crow Country was a welcome gift to fans of the 1990s era survival horror classics, such as the original Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Taking place in a derelict amusement park, you play as Mara Forrest, as you enter the grounds searching for the mysterious founder, Edward Crow, who has since disappeared, and find that everything is not as it seems. With fantastic atmospheric settings and audio, with a soundtrack reminiscent of the original Silent Hill, with dark and ominous tones.
Oh, you want dark and ominous?
The game does a great job in laying out everything in a clear direction, making nothing ever too cryptic or confusing. With a solid lineup of weapons such as the survival horror standards of the handgun and shotgun, to a grenade, and of course the ever-present wearable flashlight to light up those creepy corners. The combat is definitely a throwback with tank controls, however, with the added benefit of being able to aim up and down with your gun instead of the fixed position. If you are a fan of old school survival horror, definitely give Crow Country a shot. It'll take you around 5 hours to complete. You can pick up Crow Country from the eShop for $19.99. Two A Day Pizza's 2023 release of Pizza Tower on PC via Steam was an immediate darling for fans of Wario Land and 2D platformers in general. Being compared not only to the aforementioned Wario Land 4 in particular, but also to games like Sonic, with the speed in which you run, jump, wall climb, and body slam your way through each stage, racking up the highest score that you can. And thankfully, here in 2024, it was very well received on the Nintendo Switch. Playing as pizza chef Peppino Spaghetti, you are threatened by a floating sentient pizza that will destroy your pizzeria with a giant laser, the usual run-of-the-mill plotline. As you scale this pizza tower, you are confronted with 5 floors containing 4 levels each of unique and completely batshit crazy environments and enemies. Playing as Peppino, you can run, jump, roll, walk, and slide, with your attacks including parrying enemy attacks, grabbing and throwing enemies, and a body slam. With the game featuring no difficulty selections, allowing for your choices instead to dictate how difficult the game is. This also includes that the game provides no health system or lives, with being hit by an enemy only decreasing your score and decreasing the in-game timer by 2 seconds. However, during the boss fights, you can die by being struck. After the end of every level, which as you run through you'll free locked away pizza toppings, finding secret areas, and defeating enemies to rack up your score, Pizza Time will activate, where you have to return to the beginning of the level in a frantic dash before the timer runs out. Pizza Tower overall has the charm of a Nickelodeon cartoon from the 1990s, mixed with the fun wackiness of a Super Nintendo game like Rocko's Modern Life or an old Sega Genesis title. The art design is straight up Wario Land, and I really love the janky Microsoft Paint style cutscenes. It just fits this world so perfectly. If you are a fan of the Wario Land games, or just love challenging, fast-paced 2D platformers, definitely give Pizza Tower a shot. It'll take you around 6 hours to beat, and you can pick it up on the eShop for $19.99. When Metal Slug was getting a new entry in the form of a tactics RPG, it had a lot of people, including myself, a bit skeptical on how well a widely loved 2D run-and-gun game would translate over to the strategy field. However, with SNK handing over the reins to indie developer Dotemu, this genre transition evolved incredibly well. Selecting 3 of the playable characters, you're armed with a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, and a distinct skill, with the use of special abilities consuming adrenaline, which can be built up with movement over the battlefield. With the game encouraging the characters to move around the map, never feeling static or tiresome. With 2 action points per turn, strategic movements will line characters up for powerful sync attacks. You'll also be able to use environmental hazards to your advantage, and at times deploy a tank, leading to devastating blows on the enemy. The graphics and artwork are a beautiful recreation of the original, blending the classic art style with modern effects that bring every explosion and character to life. Every frame of the small, concise battlefields are painstakingly animated and detailed, leading to not only an engaging experience, but also to a nostalgic onslaught that is most very welcome. And again, T. Lopez doing this soundtrack as well, making his contributions perfectly complementing the action with upbeat, adrenaline-pumping tracks that pay homage to the original tunes. While Metal Slug Tactics is of course not as involved and grand as the latest strategic rates such as Triangle Strategy or Tactics Ogre Reborn, what it does offer is a wonderfully concise and engaging experience that provides so much fun in a quick skirmish or two on your Switch. I absolutely recommend this game to fans of the series, or for any fan of strategic RPGs. Metal Slug Tactics will take you around 7 hours to beat, available on the eShop for $24.99. Beyond Galaxyland, developed by the one-man team of Sam Enright, is a wonderfully crafted, planet-hopping, side-scrolling RPG adventure in the style of unique platform adventures such as Out of This World, featuring some truly wild-looking alien environments and creatures, both good and bad. Whether it be the multitude of NPCs that you can converse with across the multiple planets that you explore, or the bizarre monsters that you fight and or capture. Playing as the hapless hero Doug and his companion, a pistol-wielding guinea pig aptly named Boom Boom, filled with so much personality, even when Boom Boom doesn't speak, with the brilliantly detailed animations. As you narrowly escape with your life as your home planet is enveloped, seemingly destroyed by an evil galactic entity known as the End, you are whisked away to a housing planet called Arcadia by the seemingly benevolent corporation of Dreamcore. The gameplay is also truly impressive, with light platforming mechanics, engaging puzzles that remind me of how the shrines in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom would operate and function in 2D. Being a JRPG, the turn-based combat is of course where the gameplay truly shines, with each character having their own basic attacks, with their ever-growing collection of weapons, combined with these special abilities that of course rely on ability points. The game requires you to time your attack correctly, with the attack button being pressed at the correct time after choosing your attack, as well as defending with another button press right before the enemy strikes you. This combat system is reminiscent of games such as Super Mario RPG and Sea of Stars. You also have the ability to capture each monster that you encounter in order to use them as a summon, similar to the Persona series, and much like a game mentioned earlier, Bloomtown. All in all, if you are a fan of turn-based JRPGs, looking for something fresh, or just want to jump into an adventure reminiscent of 1980s sci-fi classics such as The Last Starfighter, definitely give Beyond Galaxyland a try. It'll take you around 12 hours to beat, and you can grab it from the eShop for $17.99. Faith, the Unholy Trinity, developed by Airdorf Games, is without a doubt the strangest game on this list, yet it is one of my favorites. This lo-fi horror experience is just that, an experience. With its Atari 2600 style aesthetic, its unnerving rotoscope cutscenes, distorted audio and sound, and some incredibly dark subject matter, leads to a game that is deceptively simple. Taking place in Connecticut during the late 1980s, amid the satanic panic wave sweeping across the nation. You play as a priest named John Ward, as he attempts to finish a botched exorcism of a young girl named Amy. The gameplay, featuring the use of John's singular weapon, a crucifix, will have you holding that thing up, repelling demons, and exorcising anything that looks a little sus as you bob and weave your way through dark forests, haunted houses, cemeteries, and sewers. The lore of this game is presented in notes, and other clues that you discover either by sheer happenstance, or after exorcising a cursed object or defeating a demon. And the story obviously takes a lot of inspiration from possession films such as The Exorcist, but also has a lot of Lovecraftian influences as well. So if you are a fan of atmospheric horror, especially horror that is occult related, check out Faith, the Unholy Trinity. It should take you around 6 hours or so to exorcise this game. Even though this list is in no particular order, we will end on my number one Nintendo Switch indie game of 2024, and that's gotta be 8-Bit Adventures 2. I've talked about this game already in another video, however, at that time it wasn't available for the Switch, and I feel that absolutely deserves so much more praise. And based on the interviews that I've seen, the developer, Josh Halloran, just seems like such a down-to-earth and passionate dude, well worth your support. Having grown up with the NES and playing through games like Final Fantasy I and the early Dragon Quest games, I definitely cut my teeth on 8-bit JRPGs. However, what makes 8-Bit Adventures 2 so special is that it takes what makes those old games great and cuts out everything that can make those oldies such a slogfest. allowing you to never have to worry about random encounters, never having to worry about grinding enemies just to get your party powerful enough, which you can always do if you wish, but it isn't a must. The menu system is simple and refined, with everything being laid out clearly. The battle system is straight up retro RPG combat goodness, with simple and straightforward commands. You have 3 levels of strength when it comes to your standard attack, which is weak, medium, and strong, starting with a higher success of landing the blow the lighter the attack is. You'll also, of course, have abilities unique to each character, along with magic. Another modern enhancement is that you can switch out party members without losing a turn, making combat seamless. 8-Bit Adventures 2 will take you around 24 hours or so to beat, and you can pick it up right now in the eShop for $19.99. But what do you guys think? What would be on your list of the top Nintendo Switch indie games of 2024? Of course, let me know that and everything else in the comments below. And if you really like this channel, or, if you just really like me, go ahead and consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It would really help out a lot. But most importantly, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day, and I will see you on the next video.